Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at 2,300 global growth capital funds investing in expansion stage companies. To be clear, this exclusive database represents the who's who of private equity funds launched between 2022 and 2025. And these funds actively pursue investments in expansion stage companies across diverse sectors. So let's first take a look at some of the key database components. So this presentation introduces an exclusive institutionally verified database of growth capital and expansion stage private equity funds actively deploying capital into mid to late stage companies across global markets. Now we're going to take a look at the Excel spreadsheet a little bit later on in the video, and this database has basically been compiled from two institutional grade databases that I have. It's the first time I've ever offered it. If you look at previous videos, you can see that I have databases in other sectors as well. So the coverage includes 2,300 active funds launched between 2022 and 2025. And again, these are for growth capital. This is 80,000 verified key contacts, and that includes their direct institutional emails, includes core strategies such as growth, expansion, late stage, and buyout, and core industries such as technology, healthcare, life sciences, consumer goods, financial services, business services, and energy transition. But to be fair, it covers most of the key sectors. Now, unlike generic investor directories, this data set isolates confirmed growth capital mandates and expansion stage deployment strategies, providing users with a verified intelligence on funds actively allocating into scaling businesses and proven revenue and operational transaction. Now, it's purpose-built for fund managers, corporate finance advisors, placement agents, and business owners seeking growth or expansion equity partners. This resource delivers direct institutional connectivity to the world's leading private equity allocators, driving middle market and growth stage investment activity across developed and emerging markets. Global Growth and Expansion Capital Funds Database. Now, the firms and investment vehicles featured in this database are managed by leading private equity sponsors, institutional fund managers, and growth capital specialists deploying expansion stage investments into established revenue-generating companies across global markets. Now, their mandates target businesses positioned for scaling, market expansion, or strategic transformation with diversified exposure across technology, healthcare, consumer industries, industrials, financial services, energy transition, and business services, sectors that anchor the world's mid-market growth and value creation landscape. Now, examples of fund strategies include growth equity funds, late-stage and pre-IPO vehicles, sector-focused funds, and buy and build and platform strategies. Now, each record delivers institutional-grade intelligence, identifying fund type, strategy, sector focus, regional coverage, verified contract data, fund manager, profiles, key decision makers, all compiled from multiple verified institutional databases and regulatory filings. Now, to be really clear, this is not the type of database that you can scrape, and don't fall for anybody that says they can scrape this type of database from the internet. Now, this collection offers an unmatched global perspective on growth equity formation and private market deployment trends, empowering users to identify active private equity growth investors, co-investment partners, and expansion capital providers, driving the evolution of middle market and late stage investment activity worldwide. So let's take a look at some sample funds from the Global Growth Capital Database. Even though you are going to see the detailed spreadsheet coming up, this gives you a snapshot of the type of groups that are in it. So firstly, XL Growth 7, this is from the US and UK, and it's managed by XL. It's a global growth fund that invests in technology, SAS, and digital infrastructure ventures across the US, UK, targeting expansion stage companies with proven scalability. So these descriptions are right off of the database, which makes it really handy when you're doing filtering. Number 2, A-Star Capital Fund 2, it's from the US and it's a venture capital vehicle focused on technology, software, and internet-based enterprises in the US, backing category defining startups led by high-performing founders. AVP Late Stage Tech Fund, and that's out of Europe and North America, and it's a late stage venture fund investing in technology firms approaching IPO readiness. Fourth, AIG Fund 2, it's ASEAN and Japan, so it's a growth and buyout fund connecting Japanese investors with ASEAN mid-market opportunities. Number 5, Albion Capital VCT, that's out of the UK, and it's a UK venture capital trust that invests in digital health, software, and environmental technology businesses. And lastly, G42 Expansion Fund, that's out of the UAE. It's a venture capital fund managed by G42 in partnership with the Abu Dhabi Growth Fund, investing globally in AI, clean tech, fintech, digital infrastructure, and life sciences. Again, this is just a small sample of the 2,300 funds that are in the database. So who can benefit from this database? Well, firstly, fundraisers and capital advisors. It's purpose-built for professionals managing capital raising and private placement mandates across growth equity and expansion stage markets. It's a key resource for placement agents, fundraising consultants, and corporate finance advisors seeking verified institutional and family office private equity allocators, and it provides intelligence on growth funds, co-investment vehicles, and structured capital programs deploying expansion capital globally. Secondly, it's good for fund managers, sponsors, and investment platforms. It's designed for private equity managers, general partners, and investment sponsors pursuing LP commitments, co-investments, and strategic partnerships. And it enables engagement with institutional investors, sovereign funds, and family offices targeting late-stage and buyout opportunities, expanding pipelines, and aligning capital sources. And third, strategic advisors and industry consultants. Again, it's built for advisory firms and consultants managing private equity fundraising or capital structuring mandates. It offers visibility into verified growth capital allocators and institutional investors in technology, healthcare, industrials, consumer, and energy transition sectors. And it streamlines investor targeting, strengthens outreach, and accelerates engagement timelines. So why does this database matter? Well, it's replicating this database would require months of institutional research and costly subscriptions, many with incomplete or outdated data. A lot of the large institutional database services want you to buy their entire package or sign up for programs that cost tens of thousands of dollars, where my databases are institutional and you can have small pieces that cater to the sectors that you're mostly interested in. And each record is manually validated through institutional filings from 2022 to 2025 fund data. Now I picked those time periods. We're sitting here towards the end of 2025, and by looking at 2022, this is going to stretch the database as far as the deployment of capital, probably all the way into 2029, because again, they start raising in 2022, they raise for a year, a couple of years, and then you have the deployment stage. And also by having funds that are in there from 2025, again, stretch the lifespan of this database out further and ensures accuracy, recency, and exclusivity among the global growth and expansion capital ecosystem. So let's take a look at the database. Just quickly before we go to the Excel sheet, I like to cover this off for all my videos, the key database disclosure. Now my intensive database provides hundreds of thousands of global contacts, typically including profiles, emails, and websites, though not all details are complete. Now it's primarily compiled and updated from 2021 to 2025, with most updates in the last 2 years. Now this corporate resource may include contacts whose roles have changed, and it's designed as an excellent starting point for outreach. It's best leveraged and continually refined by organizations with dedicated data teams. Now, this database comprises a blend of individuals and companies, each with distinct investment criteria and operating conditions, so there's no guarantee your approach will be favorably received. Note, this database is available to corporate or institutional groups only, no personal sales. Okay, now we're over on the spreadsheet part. Now let's take a look on the bottom left-hand corner. As you can see, we have 2,300 funds. We go right back up to the top here. And you can see on the left-hand side, you're going to get the name of the fund. You're going to get the background, which is good because you're going to be able to use that to do some filtering and searching. You're going to get the inception year. Again, this is from 2022 to 2025. The asset class, most of these are going to be private equity and venture capital. They're all growth or expansion late stage. And the primary region is going to give you a bit of an idea if you want to target it as well. And then as we go to the right a little bit further, you're going to get the status, whether it's announced, first close, closed, raising, second close. So it's going to give you a bit of an idea of what stage they are. There is some information on fund size. And of course, you're going to get information on the fund manager, which is going to help you do the referencing for the key contacts on the second sheet. We're going to see it in just a bit. You're going to get an option to look at the core industries, the industry verticals, which is also going to help you do more refined searching. Again, this one is just looking at growth capital in a diversified manner. And then you're going to get information for their contact details. Each one of these has the website and the company email and secondary locations as well. Now let's go and take a look at the key contacts. So if we go to the key contacts, you can see now this is a more of an expanded database, which refers to not only the funds, but private equity firms, fund managers, and you can see on the bottom you've got 80,000 contacts. And we go right back up to the top. You're going to get the fund manager name. You're going to get the firm type. Again, you're going to see most of these are going to be private equity or fund managers that relate to the funds that you saw in the opening sheet. You're going to get their name. You're going to get their title. You're also going to get information on the asset class that they cover, which will also help you do a little bit more refinement. You can look at private equity. You can look at venture capital. You can look at private debt, real estate, so on. You're going to get their email as well, and all these have been updated as of late 2024. And then, of course, you're going to get their country and their office location. So that's going to give you a great opportunity to reach out to firms that have raised capital for funds that are targeting a growth capital in 2025 and beyond. Are you looking for global funds and contacts? My verified database includes 24,000 global funds from 2022 to 2025 and 400,000 fundraising executives with 277,000 emails. Coverage across all regions, asset classes, and strategies. It's the most complete global capital access tool available. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.